Okay, but let's go back to this. So how do I beautify this? It was nice that we went through, of course, how to create the chart last time, and we know what it looks like when it's done. But how did I get to that step, right? So a couple of ways. The first thing you'll notice is I went to the formatting panel. So come over to your formatting panel, and you can hit the dock here, right, if you want it to show up. You don't really have to do it that way. It is nice to kind of have it go away when not needed. And then you'll notice here that we do have shadows. So if we did want to put shadows, on the actual dashboard, we could. In this instance, I'm actually going to strip off the shadows because I just don't want them to overlay on top of the layers we already have. If it was a flat border or flat background with just the white, then I would kind of keep that look. And I'll show you what I mean by white. So when we go to our traditional presentation, right, so we go to create. Now I would create in 1920 or 1080, right, HP, just as a means. If you do it all the same, right, then that consistency can be key for you. But when you come here, right, and you put in, let's see if it'll, and you put in a clean chart, and it's the first discovery, right, that you've put onto a new presentation. A lot of times the formatting just isn't where I would specifically want it to be. So it's nice with the shadowing because you can see how it's raised and it's coming off. You're getting a little depth there. But if you don't want that depth, which is what we in the previous build, what we were showing, if you want to take that away, right, you uncheck the shadow. And then also what you would want to do for our background color is you would want to make it see-through, right, or translucent, transparent. And then that functionality, of course, will allow you to see the color that's represented behind the actual object. In this case, of course, you would also want to take off our title, right, our subtitle, and that's how I would kind of break it down, right? And let's go back and see what that looks like over here. So from here, we don't need, again, the shadow, so that's already been deselected. We'll go ahead and take off the title. All right, and then the real key will be our background here, and then we will take it, see if we can get our background. Now we got to go into the Discover. So this is another location. So if the translucent doesn't work there, it's because we have an additional place that it's being white. So this background in the report itself needs to actually be selected for that transparent look. And once we have that in place, go ahead and save that. Another thing, just as a tip, when you're going through, if you don't want to spend too much time on formatting, you see how this has the multicolored. If I was to put line of business group in here, you would see an additional color kind of comes into place. If we don't want this, kind of peacock or multicolored look, you can hit the accounting button, right, and you can see how that makes a difference, or it changes, right, the look here. Also with our background, right, we would want to continue to get our background color, right, to transparent. And so that's where we would continue to kind of work that process to get our, I guess, table in this instance to be transparent. So let's go back to our dashboard build. And then you can see how the color is kind of stripped out from the background, and it allows you to place it neatly onto the surface, right, that you've created here. Now, the black on the black can make it tough, right? Maybe you want to make it white. Maybe you want to make it this purple shade that we have already established as well. If you have a color, right, in mind, or if you do have something that's already in place, you can go into that discovery and you can go right to the colors that's being used. So let me see if I can find it in particular. Yeah, and then our style here. So go to more colors, right, and then you can steal this hex code. All right, Control C, copy, and then take it back. Gosh. And then for this, open it up, and then here we would just slide in that hex code. So go to data, right, and then the style in particular, put that in, and you can see how it starts to change. Now, if we want to do everything, I believe we just come here, and it will make it purple for all. not just the data set itself. And if you want to get even more intricate, you can put on the borders or take off the borders, which you can see we did there with the style that's chosen on the accounting. Some, I guess, limitations will be put there, so the borders we're not really able to control on this specific version or theme. But of course, in your typical accounting here, you would be able to do all of those individual selections or changes. It just takes a while. And of course, coming here to white and then doing that for all, right? It can be a little bit of a process. So a couple of ways you can do it. Again, it can be easier to have a shortcut in place once you have what you're looking for, and you do have the background all to transparent. You can save it, get it into our dash. So that's how I would take a chart or take a table that we've created, right? Make it transparent, right? And then put it onto a backdrop or onto a specific dashboard in